Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in this video. So many a times while consulting, I get a very common question regarding Venus, Moon, and the nature of the spouse. Okay. And the point being, I get this question pretty often from the male natives whose charts I look at. Okay. So on, on their increasing requests to make a video on this topic. So this is about Venus and Moon combination and the nature of your spouse. Okay. Now, Venus and Moon together, they signify Annapurna Yoga. Okay. So just don't look at Venus and Moon combination from the, from the point of view of marriage. You should also look at what yogas they form when these two planets come together. So Venus and Moon together, they form Annapurna Yoga, which means the yoga of food. So if you have this combination in the chart, then irrespective of the spouse is a separate topic, and I'm going to deal with that topic today. Irrespective of that spouse, irrespective of your spouse, you are always going to find good food. Okay. And no matter where you are, food will always be available to you. Okay. So Venus is the Karaka for abundance. And when it combines with the moon, which is actually the Karaka for food, it actually makes this yoga as a yoga that gives you abundance of food. That means you may be stuck in a desert and your fellow beings may be suffering, but you are the one who will always get good amount of good quality food to satisfy your stomach, to satisfy your hunger. Okay, so that is one result of the combination, and that is known as Annapurna Yoga. The other result of this combination is that if a male is having this combination in the chart, then what happens is the person would always like to prefer working behind the scenes. Okay, say someone is a manager having this Venus Moon combination, then it will seem that the decisions are coming from somewhere else, but it is actually the manager who is taking the decisions. But the decisions are being taken from behind, maybe through observation, maybe through politics or whatever. So these people are the ones who would rarely show themselves, in the field of work or whatever they do. They'll always prefer to keep themselves behind the scenes. Okay. But then, as I said, this video is about, if you have a Venus Moon combination and you are a male, then, what spouse would you actually have? Okay. So the first things first, to understand what the marriage will be like, the seventh house is always looked at. Okay. But then, as I said, this house is not only related to marital relations, it is also viewed as a whole, as a partnership. And a partnership does not only mean love. Okay. So when it comes to love, Venus and Moon have a big role to play. Okay. That means the signs in which these planets sit together, they tell which women a man prefers, and subconsciously, it could be a direct or indirect thing, which woman a man will tend to attract into his life. Okay. So that is why problems arise in the marriage when the ruler of the seventh house, for example, Mars, is in Leo, and and the Darakaraka, Saturn, is in Libra. That is, in that case, the wife will be dominating, cold, proud, passionate, creative, etc. But say Venus sits with the moon in Cancer, so a man would want his companion to be homely, gentle, romantic, harmonious, and most importantly, love and honor his mother. Another result that follows as because of this combination is that if Venus and Moon are combining in a watery sign, then most certainly the man would be forced literally to choose between his wife and his mother. Okay, so as I said, it's not difficult to understand that in such situations, a man will not be happy in marriage and will be drawn to nice, cozy, and caring women who not necessarily may form a very good or a healthy bond with his mother. Okay, so to know if you're a man and you want to know the nature of your spouse, you first have to analyze, your Venus and Moon, and in what signs are they placed. And then you have to analyze how these signs get manifested in your chart. And, after a thorough analysis, you can conclude what kind of a relationship, you will have, or, whether you will get the ideal woman of your dreams. Okay. Now, Venus and Moon combining together in various signs, and results will be as follows. Okay. So if this combination is happening in Aries, then such a man would have a requirement for a purposeful, passionate, impulsive wife, a combatant who, who leads an active lifestyle, goes in for sports, is independent, one does not cling to a man, but allows him to hunt. And these are the people who will prefer that, their women does not use cheap feminine tactics and intrigues, but someone who can generate interest, does not give up quickly on the relationship. And such a man will always be attracted to girls who have who are slender bodied, athletic, and also have a good physique. Okay, for reference, you can refer to Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider series. Okay, so if Venus and Moon are combining together in Taurus, in that case, a man would love women with forms. So everything is with the body, a well-developed female figure who is feminine and having an hourglass type of body. Okay, but the main thing is the preference of a lush chest. Okay, it seems a bit, out of the, out of the topic, but these are the people who will prefer sensual, calm, domestic, and not hysterical girls who know how to cook and manage the household. Because these are the men who will not like to sort things out. They like everything to be quiet and peaceful. Okay. On the good side, these men are very faithful. But on the bad side, these men can be very lazy. Okay. And, they would always prefer their wife to give them comfort, to have a softness about them, to have a good sense of grooming about them, to have a bit of sensuality, responsiveness to their advances. And they are the ones who would value their spouse or their wife to have long hair. Okay, that means the image of a woman for these men who have Venus and Moon in Taurus is that of classic feminine. Okay. Then if Venus and Moon are combining in Gemini, then this combination produces a man who is attracted to a cheerful, sexy, lively, and sociable girl. Maybe a little superficial and light, who is interested in many things, like having a hobby, being smart, being well-read, not jealous, and easygoing. And these are the men who will be attracted to thin and tall types. That means the wife should have the image of a teenage girl. Okay, and these people or these men are not particularly interested in appearance, sociability, quickness of understanding, and common interests are much more important. Okay, but the flip side is that these people are slow in communicating. Okay, as a result, there could be misunderstandings during the dating period, and that can be a source of annoyance. So if you have this combination, if you're a man, if you have this combination in Gemini, then you need to be thinking in unison with the one whom you are dating. Okay, and such a man is usually repelled by females who are too domestic or too feminine. He needs a girlfriend or a partner who is more sexy, with whom he can take a backpack and go on a trip. Okay, then you have Venus and Moon combining together in Cancer, and this is a combination that even I have. And from personal experience, I can say that I've always valued females who are caring, who are housekeeping. They have a love for children. They respect relatives, and as well as my mother. Okay, now my mother left in 2013, long way back. But if Venus and Moon are combining in Cancer, then the man would almost always have a preference for a lady who would be very respectful towards his mother. Okay, he prefers the female to be emotionally open and be able to empathize and regret. And then there is also this desire for the female to be a wonderful cook and a desire to have a large family with her. Okay, in general, men having Venus and Moon in Cancer, they can be divided into two categories: children and father. So in the first case, such a man would want and seek care and affection from a woman, and he acts in the symbolic role of a child. In the second case, the other case of being a father, such a man, rather than a father who wants to protect the woman himself, to become a stone wall for her. And very often, even in my case, the wife will often behave as the man's mother. Okay, then comes Leo. So if a male is having Venus and Moon combining together in Leo, then such a man needs a queen in the truest sense of the word. Okay, a little proud, impregnable, and self-respecting, someone who has these qualities. Okay, and the most important thing is that a man can be proud of his woman whenever he goes out with her and not sit at home. Okay, they prefer the appearance to be outwardly beautiful. That means the female should have beautiful hair, often blondes, having a regal appearance, having a wonderful posture, and always maintaining a good appearance. And these people usually believe that if it's a man, since it's a man, such a man would usually believe that he is always being judged by his woman, and therefore he makes all sorts of demands on the girl. Okay, and he will be attracted to bright, graceful, dear girls who stand out from the crowd, who know how to present themselves in society, are well mannered, with a lot of good upbringing. Okay. Then if Venus and Moon are combining in Virgo, then such a man would need a sensible, smart, sometimes economical, and very clean girl. That means, a girl who has a clean past without any affairs or without any sexual relations in the past. Okay. And, now someone may say, why is the girl being preferred as a clean girl? Why is the man not clean? In this case, if for a male, if Moon and Venus are combining in Virgo, then the man himself is clean. He will have a clean past. Okay. And he would have a habit of watching her diet and weight, sitting on some kind of diet from time to time. And he likes his females to be slender and even very thin. Okay. By nature, such men are perfectionists and pricky, and they need everything to be perfect, which can create difficulties at times in relationships due to their critical nature. Okay. Now, these people are attracted by discreet women, colleagues and subordinates who are sharing the same workplace. Okay. Such a man does not like disorder, noise, turmoil. It is hard to endure too much activity and pressure, demands or pressure. And not infrequently, such men are doctors by profession, and therefore they want the same sterility at home as they do at work. Okay. If Moon and Venus are combining in Libra, then, such a man would prefer his women to be well groomed, to be beautiful, to be elegant, to be soft, and have a non-conflicting nature. Okay. He would always prefer a lady who has the ability to smoothen sharp corners, handles things with lightness and ease, has an air of aristocracy and a classic feminine features such as correct speech and femininity, but without strong emotions. Okay. So Libra is an air sign, and it is usually lighter and emotional water signs. So such a man is always waiting for harmony in a relationship and does not tolerate quarrels or swearing. They love to go out on dates, and I have seen these people. They'll also date, even 5 years or 10 years into the marriage, and they consider dating as a form of art. And such a man usually prefers women to be calm, have a even mood with a sense of tact and measure, and follow the established order. And not arguing is it's a very important preference for these men. Okay. They want their women to be agreeable as well as to compromise in some cases. And these men, they usually have a heightened sense of proportion and taste, so they are very pricky about women, and they will be attracted to a classic female figure with regular features. Okay. If Venus and if Venus and Moon are combining together in Scorpio, then for such a man, it is very important to know how sexy and liberated a woman is. And such a man likes mostly brunettes. He is consciously looking for a fatal, jealous girl with character and without complexes, from whom he will lose his head. So there is often suffering, there is often difficulties, and a lot of passion in such relationships. But these people or these men are attached to their hearts, and they rarely change or switch to others. So this is an instinctive sign, and Scorpio is often vindictive. So these men are attracted to women who are bright and who are distinguished by their sex appeal. Okay, Scorpios can also be very sophisticated, and it can be difficult to resist such men. But these men are secretive, they love secrets, dangers, and risks, and they will not be attracted by simple light girls without any inner depth, or indifferent, or girls who are too calm. Okay, so Scorpios usually look for trouble. Okay, and such a relationship, if these men come into relationships, and they would want the relationship to have a crazy amount of passion. Okay, and without passion, relationships do not exist for them. Okay, Sagittarius. If Moon and Venus are combining together in Sagittarius, then the man would always prefer a woman who appreciates honesty, sincerity, optimism, is always smiling, independent, has faith in the divine, is adventurous, has a love for travel, is generous, and has a lack of jealousy. Okay, so why does this happen? Because if Moon and Venus combine together in Sagittarius or a male chart, so it produces female loving men who do not like pressure. Okay, so in a relationship, a man can often move away and keep a distance. And, this helps to maintain his interest and avoid disappointment if communication is too close. Such men are very trusting and generous with women, but their affections are changeable. Okay, and such men will also be attracted by the breadth of views, the variety of hobbies and interests, and knowledge of foreign languages. And I've seen these people getting attracted to women of different nationalities or, ones belonging to different cultures. Okay, now what if Moon and Venus are combining together in Capricorn? In that case, such a man may be attracted to a serious, conservative girl, perhaps even a careerist, without excessive sentimentality and sensitivity or emotionality. And this is Capricorn is a very serious earthy sign. It exalts the Mars. So, first of all, what these men seek is stability. Okay, and such a man does not know how to express his emotions, display his emotions verbally and openly. For such a man, love is expressed in the really sorry. For such a man, love is expressed in the form of concrete help. So women can always rely on these people or these men in case of any problems. Okay, and these people or these men have a habit of developing relationships for a long time to make sure that his choice is correct and that the person with him is faithful and reliable, because these people or these men take relationships very seriously. So as a result, these men will be attracted to girls who are restrained, who are thoughtful, who are reasonable, who can stand firmly on their feet, and who do not build castles in the air. Okay, because Capricorn is a sign of practicality. All right. Aquarius, if Moon and Venus are combining together in Aquarius, then such a man will have a craving for an unusual, original and strange girl who differs from the rest in behavior, clothes, and appearance, and sometimes does not meet the norms of the society. Okay, these men rather, will need a girlfriend, and he will perceive her first of all as a good friend, rarely burning with passion, and it is difficult to expect stability and a long-term relationship from such men. So they need a woman who has quick understanding, can support these men in a friendly way, and also with a manifestation of originality. Okay, and if you are a woman who is dating a man having Venus and Moon combining together in Aquarius, then you should be ready for unusual manifestations of feelings and be somewhat ascetic and light. Okay, now for males, if Moon and Venus are combining in Pisces, then such guys are attracted by mystery, romance, femininity, fragility, and tenderness, and he would always prefer his wife to cause a desire to protect and take care of herself. Okay, and these men, they want their partner, the female partner, to be somewhat compassionate and sentimental with weaknesses. That means these are the people who love the vulnerability in their women, in their partner. Okay, why? Because such a man is always sympathetic and compassionate, so therefore he is looking for something in the girl that could be consoled. Okay, he is not attracted to strong and independent women who can defend their point of view. He's attracted to deeply emotional women who are dreamy and somewhat sensitive to music and art. Okay, so that was my interpretation of Moon and Venus combining in different charts for a male native. Do let me know if this analysis is agreeable to you, and if you do have a Moon and Venus combination, as I have in Cancer, do let me know in the comments how it has manifested in getting you the spouse of your dreams. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Kindly like the channel, subscribe to it, share the video if you find it useful, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Namaste. Om Gurave Namaha.